Welcome back, beautiful New York tri state area and beyond. You're listening to a moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Welcome back to the Bosque Ranch Live speaker series brought to you by Bosque Ranch. In 2025 and into this year, we saw a measurable shift. Consumer demand for custom, handcrafted, and heritage driven goods is rising, and mass produced furniture continues to dominate. But with declining emotional value and shorter product life cycles, it's not all fair game. At the same time, rural lifestyle interest and land based experiences have surged over 25% year over year. And that signals something deeper, that people aren't just buying things anymore, they're searching for meaning. And that's exactly where today's conversation lives. Because what we're witnessing is a full scale ranch revival where craftsmanship, culture, land, and even storytelling are converging into a new kind of American legacy, one that feels straight out of the worlds created by none other than Taylor Sheridan. From Yellowstone to 1883, 1923, and Landman, where land isn't just owned, it's protected, lived on, and passed down. And that storytelling isn't just staying on screen, it's showing up in real life in places like Bosque Ranch, where culture, craftsmanship, and community are coming together in a very real way, especially with the Bosque Ranch Live concert series returning September 12th. So today we're bringing that conversation to life with a man who is quite literally building it by hand. Brandon Myers is the founder of Ranch House Creations, a craftsman and entrepreneur who has been creating custom wood pieces since 2018, from cutting boards to full scale furniture and custom builds. And beyond the workshop, he's also serving his community as a firefighter, bringing that same discipline, precision, and purpose into everything he creates. Brandon, welcome to the show, superstar.
Hello, thank you for having me. So it's an honor to be here.
So excited to dive right in. I want to talk about this ranch revival. It's not just aesthetic, I believe it's behavioral. When you look at the studies, it shows that younger buyers, especially millennials and Gen Z, are increasingly prioritizing quality and sustainability, and more importantly, story over convenience. So there's clearly a disconnect in the marketplace right now between what people say they want and what they've been conditioned to buy. So, Brandon, from where you sit as a craftsman, what do you think is driving this renewed demand for handmade custom work, and what are people really searching for when they come to you?
Well, I think we've had a long time of just cheap goods and that you can get quick and that don't really last and you just end up throwing them away or they end up breaking. And I think there's a lot of people that are starting to realize that and really just want a quality product, something they can customize, something that fits their space exactly how they want it. And can customize exactly what they want, and to me, that's what it seems like is really driving the market of just getting those custom pieces.
Yeah, I think we're living in a world dominated by fast furniture, where pieces are often replaced within just a few years. And we've conditioned to believe that that is okay. I mean, we all know the quality of IKEA. You can't even, I mean, forget that. So at the end of the day, the idea of people searching for connection through what they bring into their homes, it mirrors so much of what we're seeing culturally. I mean, it's not just about function anymore, it's about identity and honestly legacy. Now, let's talk about the visual side of this movement, because part of what's driving the ranch revival is what people are seeing, right? The landscapes, the textures, the materials, it's cinematic. And again, we can't ignore the influence of Taylor Sheridan's universe, where land, wood, metal, and even raw materials become part of the storytelling, right? And then you have real life environments like Bosque Ranch, where the same visual language exists, right? Open land, natural materials, intentional design. So when you're creating a piece, how much of that visual storytelling, the ranch, the ranch lifestyle, right? The land, the environment actually influences your design process?
I really think it's almost all the whole process because it really depends on where this piece of furniture is going. If it's going to be, say, Bosque Ranch is very, like you said, open. There's lots of wood. So if we're going to build a piece for Bosque, which we have a lot coming up, we try to use materials that's similar to what's around. The oaks, stuff like that. And if we use any stain, just keep it natural. I think each piece of wood tells a story. And if we can get wood from that area, especially from the ranch, like a lot of people want to do, custom pieces from wood from their place, and I think that's a really cool story, and it just kind of leaves that legacy. It has a story of where it's been and where it's going.
So there's also an economic layer here, right? The custom and handmade market has been steadily growing, with consumers willing to invest more in fewer high quality pieces. But at the same time, many people still assume custom work is out of reach. So, can you break down the reality for us? What does custom craftsmanship actually look like in terms of accessibility? And how should people be thinking about investing in pieces like yours?
Well, I think the custom pieces, they are more expensive, like you said, and I don't think it's out of reach like most people think, though. If you're gonna have a piece of furniture and you're gonna replace it 2 or 3 times every few years, you can invest up front in one piece that's gonna last your lifetime. And it's gonna have a story with it. It's gonna be from maybe you got it when you bought your first house, and it's gonna live, and your kids are gonna have it, and it's gonna be in their first house. So I think it's all about the story. You're getting a good quality products with that, and even the smaller pieces, though, it doesn't have to be a large piece of furniture. We actually have pieces under $50 that are completely custom. So we do a lot of boot jacks and boot pulls and stuff, especially for awards that go to Bosque. They go to the 4.6s. They go all over the place. So I don't think that a custom piece has to be as expensive or unaccessible as a lot of people think.
Well, I mean, exactly. And that reframing, what you just said, from cost to value is everything, especially when you start thinking about pieces, to your point, that last decades instead of seasons. Now, I want to zoom out to the bigger picture because this isn't just about furniture, it's about lifestyle. We're seeing Texas, in particular, become a major hub for this movement. Land ownership, ranch living, experiential events. I mean, that brings us to Bosque Ranch Live, right? The concert series happening this September 12th, where music, culture, and this entire lifestyle are going to come together all in one place. So, from your perspective, Brandon, why do experiences like Bosque Ranch Live matter, not just for the community, but for the future of this ranch revival movement?
So I think events like Bosque Ranch Live really bring in a lot of people that have similar shared values. They want to live the Western lifestyle, and have the friends and the family and really the close relationships. And I think that Bosque Ranch Live and just Taylor Sheridan has done a great deal to helping everybody build that relationship, and just kind of expose everybody to the Western lifestyle.
Yeah, I think it becomes a living, breathing version of everything we've been talking about, right? I mean, where people aren't just buying into the lifestyle, they're actually stepping into it. And I think that's what's going to take place on September 12th. I can't wait to meet you and share some great moments.
Absolutely. So I'm looking forward to it. And I think that kind of helps just pass everything on to the next generation, which I believe is really important for us.
It's all about legacy. Now, when we talk about legacy, which is a word that keeps coming up in this conversation, it's something that shows up across every layer of this particular movement, right? In the land, in the craftsmanship, in the experiences. So, when you think about your work and where this is all heading, what does legacy mean to you? And what do you hope people feel when they bring one of your pieces into their home?
To me, legacy is something that's you're going to leave behind. When I'm gone 100 years from now, how are people going to remember my work? And hopefully, that's something that's very can be passed along. It's withstood the test of time. It's very quality, and hopefully, when they bring those pieces into their house, they just felt a connection of something that they've designed, and it's going to leave a story about where they've been and where they're going. So,
And that emotional imprint that you just described, I think that's what actually transforms something from a product into a story. And well, stories are what last, right?
absolutely.
Well, Brandon, this has been such a powerful conversation on legacy, craftsmanship, and where you're headed. Congratulations on all your success. I mean, it really highlights something we don't talk about enough, the idea that what we build, what we buy, and where we gather, all of it is really shaping the kind of legacy we leave behind.
Yeah, I agree.
For those listening and for those watching, if you want to learn more about Brandon Myers and Ranch House Creations, you can find them directly on the gram at Ranch House Creations. You can check out Brandon as well at Brandon_Myers and explore their custom work at ranchhousecreations.com. And for everyone listening, if you want to experience this ranch revival in real life, mark your calendars for September 12th as Bosque Ranch Live comes alive once again with the Bosque Ranch Live concert series, where music, craftsmanship, land, and culture are all going to come together in one unforgettable experience. Texas isn't just a place right now, it's a movement. And this is what it looks like when craft meets culture. You're listening to a moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Bosque Ranch Live Concert Series. Country music's roots are deep and diverse, with stories told through raw emotion that bridge tradition and progress. Master storyteller Taylor Sheridan's Music Concert Series at Bosque Ranch offers audiences the chance to experience both the finest country music artists and up-and-coming artists, while celebrating the Western way of life and championing the people and brands that shape the community. Head to BosqueRanchLive.com to learn more.